Hello everyone, thanks for taking the time to join us on today's webinar. So the topic we'll be covering will be optimizing IT efficiency, the power of configuration management. So before we get started, I want to take a second to introduce myself. My name is Greg Collins and I'm the Product Marketing Manager for Progress's WhatsUp Gold. I'm also joined by my colleague Ekaterina Boniva, who's a Senior Technical Sales Engineer. Ekaterina will kindly be giving a demonstration of the configuration management functionality within WhatsUp Gold. I'll introduce her later on in the presentation. So I will be giving an overview of what configuration management is as a concept, why it's important or why you should care about it, and then I'll give a rundown of WhatsUp Gold's configuration management functionality, the benefits, how it's licensed, etc. I'm going to keep that fairly brief as I'll then be passing the floor across to Ekaterina, who will give a demonstration of the configuration management feature, followed by a Q&A session. Okay, so let's kick it off. I want to start by answering the question, what is configuration management? Well, essentially, at its core, it is the centralized management of network device configurations. So what does that mean? Well, an easier way to think of it is anytime you go into anything and start playing around with the settings, that is configuration management. So the aim here with configuration management is to set up, establish, and maintain a consistent set of configurations for performance, functions, or even physical attributes. Basically, this makes sure that your systems actually work. So, for example, if your network, servers, or data centers weren't configured properly, it's inevitable that issues will eventually begin to arise within your system. It may not be this week or this month, but they will show up and you'll wish you configured them properly first time around. So because of this, one of the main goals of configuration management is to keep everything configured properly and not have any unwanted surprises. I'm sure we've all been there. You go in and check how everything is going, assuming it's great, and it's just not what you expected, and the alarm bells start to kick in. Well, configuration management is a great way to give you peace of mind on this. Another benefit I want to highlight is that it also works as a version control for IT infrastructure and software. It gives an overview of how your environment is currently configured, and also if any issues arise, you can easily revert back to the previous version, making sure you're not stuck on the latest incorrect version. Right, so now that we know what configuration management is, the next big question is, well, why should we care? Well, there are plenty of valid reasons to care. Obviously, organization is a big one that comes to mind first. But the three that I'm going to focus on for this presentation are security, compliance, and automation. So first up, from a security perspective, it's imperative that you know when changes are actually made within your network. When a configuration gets modified or changed, that usually means that something has gone wrong or amiss within your environment. Either someone made an error, or worse, someone gained access and changed the configurations to make it easier for them to get in again at a later date. All of the above that I mentioned are security risks and could leave you vulnerable for a breach in the near future, so it's really important that you keep on top of this. Because of this, one of the main reasons to have everything configured properly is to keep the system secure. If you have open ports or passwords are set up as the age-old default of admin, or password, these are the sort of things that configuration management is designed to prevent. Secondly, we have compliance. This actually goes hand in hand with this. Configuration changes can result in failure to comply with regulatory standards like PCI, GDPR, or HIPAA. These can obviously vary depending on your specific industry, but these are just a few to note. We all know that as an IT or system admin, your job is to make sure that everything is configured to meet internal or external regulations, as well as to be compliant with them. So having these safeguards in place is a huge benefit of configuration management, and to be honest, it'll make your life a lot easier, which is always a big plus. Finally, we have automation. Configuration management is a massive time saver because it automates everything. You don't have to go reconfigure the settings for every switch or router manually. This will also remove any possibility of human error. When people are doing these monotonous, repetitive tasks, inevitably human error will come into play, so it's important to put these processes in place to make sure that you can counteract that. Also, having the ability to hit one button and the configuration being applied across the board is saving a huge amount of time. So I've covered the what and the why of configuration management. Next up, I want to touch on how WhatsUp Gold can actually help. So configuration management is a part of the functionality of WhatsUp Gold. It sits within the Enterprise Plus subscription license and can also be added on to your perpetual license. It's designed to specifically help people like you, IT and system admins, to monitor and manage their network configurations. One of the things that it does is it allows you to archive and store network configurations while keeping them in secure and encrypted repositories. So if you take a look at the screenshot I have on the right hand side, it shows archived and current configurations. By highlighting the areas that are changed, it makes it easier to zero in on specific areas that look out of place or may require additional investigation. It's also easy to make bulk changes automatically on WhatsUp Gold. So, for example, if there are password changes or patches that need to be implemented across the board, instead of doing it all manually, this will save time while also preventing the human error that I mentioned earlier on. Another of the real values this functionality gives is the sophisticated alerting and notifications feature. Getting alerted when something changes will make it much easier to keep on top of your environment. We're all aware that administrators need to account for every single change, whether they've been approved or not, or if you ever get audited, you need to show these when these things actually happened. Well, configuration management will not only notice this, but it will also alert you on whichever communication channel you use, whether it be Teams or Slack or email. What's great is that it's all actually tracked or reported upon. With this functionality, you can also schedule automatic scans to make sure that there's nothing new and nobody has made any unwanted modifications within the environment. As I mentioned before, compliance is a big part of configuration management. There's a ton of different reports that can be automatically generated. There's also no need to set calendar reminders anymore, as regular audits can be delivered automatically to the auditors via email, and you do also have the option to archive. And finally, and arguably the most important, setting this up actually allows you to keep on top of what's going on in your specific environment. So by automating configuration and change management, you can eliminate the repetitive tasks that we all hate doing, while also having peace of mind that you're still in control of your network. So that concludes the high-level overview of WhatsUp Gold's configuration management functionality. I'll now hand the mic across to Ekaterina, who will delve deeper into the functionality with a practical demo. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And with that, the floor is yours, Ekaterina.
Okay, thank you, Greg, and hello, everybody. Today, we will look into the WhatsUp Gold configuration management functionalities. So just briefly, first, what's WhatsUp Gold? WhatsUp Gold is a network monitoring solution which is capable to discover and monitor entire infrastructure. So while showing the functionalities, you will see the topology that WhatsUp Gold creates automatically, also the device status, which is again shown automatically. The idea is to have really one single management interface where you can look at the device status, you can monitor the entire network, and then we come to the configuration management and why the configuration management is part of the WhatsUp Gold functionalities. Not only to be able to see the device status, the link status, all the performance metrics, which are CPU memory, disk utilization, interface utilization, and so on, but also to be able to back up the device configurations. So this happens through a functionality called configuration management, which comes equipped with many libraries, with many ready-to-use content, as also a VLAN manager, as also a configuration management part, system script library, policy library, and this all to the purpose of not only backing up configurations, also being able to monitor configurations, to have a reporting of a configuration has been changed. For example, if you go to the ready-to-use startup versus running configuration report, this is something that WhatsUp Gold creates automatically. And if I go here, you will see 37 differences between the two archives, and WhatsUp Gold will show me not only when, but also where the differences are, and it will get me through one by one of the differences between the startup and the running config. So I'm able to see exactly what has been changed on a configuration level. As I said, this is reporting that's done automatically from WhatsUp Gold. It is showing me automatically where and how many are the differences between the startup and the running config, and I can briefly see it here, but then I can select and go deeper into it. The configuration management comes equipped also with a configuration archives repository, which is searchable. So if I open here, you will see a list of all the archives available. So I can briefly pick up the certain device and then use the archive filter for different devices. But if I'm in a hurry and I need to search for a precise archive to use, I will go and then select the archive search, which is available also here. So archive search enables me to search by keywords, by different type of criteria, create search patterns, so I can precisely go select the group of devices even for which I want to do that search, and then use different search patterns for that. So if we need to, let's say, for example, there's a critical issue and we need to restore a configuration, that's easily doable through the restore option of the configuration management. There are these tasks available here, which backup startup and backup running configs, that you can set up as a policy. So no need for me to go and run this task per device. I can set them up as policy and they can run automatically. The result of the tasks is this archives listed on bottom of every device, not only a general archive which is available and which we saw previously, but also they are available per device. And that's because I can directly go and use the restore option from here. If any human error happened, device failure, or any situation that may require, first of all, most importantly, to come back online or to get services up and running as a first disaster recovery, and then afterwards analyze. So I can use one of my archives to do the restore. If I'm not sure which archive to use, I can select two and compare them from within the interface per device, here also available. Functionality part of the configuration management is, as I said, not only the backing up of devices. If we come to the configuration management libraries, you will see that WhatsUp Gold comes equipped with all those libraries which are already populated. Sorry, it's slipping. So the system script library, for example, is the one that's populated with all the vendor scripts ready to use here. We are not limited to a vendor as any other functionalities within WhatsUp Gold, which is a vendorless solution. We are trying to maintain and update the library as much as possible with many vendors present here, but you can also import scripts. So it's not a fixed content and you have like 10 scripts to use. It's a library that you can import your custom scripts, or if this script does not exactly suit the needs, you can also pick up it, see the contents, and modify it. That goes also for any script that you might want to use as a template. So if I pick up any one of those and copy it, I will use it as a template and then build on top of it based on the needs that I have. It's in alphabetic order, so as you can see, many of the major vendors are present here. You can also use this to create a script from scratch. So if I hit the plus, you will see a script builder opening, so I can directly go and create a script from here. Again, those are scripts that you can run for changing the configuration, not only as tasks, because as you can see here, the configuration management comes with a task script library, which is responsible for backing up the configurations, but also you can modify a configuration from here, change change users, passwords, NTPs, change different parameters. Another automatic option is our VLAN manager, meaning that if I pick up a device, WhatsUp Gold will go and show me which are the VLANs for that precise device configured on that device, and I will be able also to go and change the VLANs for a certain interface, change their, assign them to a different interface, so I can change the configuration from here. The benefit of this is that you have one single interface where to do all the configuration related tasks. You have one single interface which is monitoring and backing up the configuration. So if anything happens, you can directly restore from the same interface. And then you can also create the configuration templates. As you saw in the configuration management, there's the VLAN manager, and there's also the template library, which allows me again to pick up a certain device and to create a template configuration for it. So meaning that if I go and capture certain device directly from within WhatsUp Gold monitored devices, I can use it for a configuration template. WhatsUp Gold will show me the different archives and will automatically use one of them as a template configuration. This can be used to apply the configuration. As you can see here, if I select any of my templates, I can apply this configuration to a newly connected device, meaning that I will down my configuration tasks effort to minutes. Configuration management has also another library which enables me to create different policies. It comes also equipped with the policy standard patterns which are related to privacy of whether this is medical records, whether this is a credit card holder data. These are policy standards which includes different patterns. You can go and select any of the policies and check which patterns are included in their precise content. So if you want to create your own patterns, you can go open the builder and use this template to create them, or you can, again, as also valid for the configurations, you can see exactly what's the status of the patterns, modify them and apply them. The idea is that if your devices need to be compliant with the company policy, with the industry standard policies, you can create them here. You can use those which are the existing ones and modify them and audit your devices against those policies. This will be done through WhatsUp Gold interface again, and audit now will give me the option to audit one device, entire network, or group of devices, meaning that I will again down my configuration management efforts to minutes instead of really putting a lot of time and effort to it. There's also, when you build different scripts and you want to apply them to the different devices, WhatsUp Gold will give you the option to debug those scripts. So to enable you really to see in details what's working and what's not working. Overall, the configuration management is part of the WhatsUp Gold functionalities in order to give a complete management interface, not only to monitor the devices, and as you can see here, to see their current status, the status of their links, and as we saw, the performance metrics right away. It helps prevent errors, but if those happen, and this is something that anyone with a network is really comes this time, that an errors happen, whether this is a human error, whether this is a device failure, to be able to get back online or to get services back up and running in minutes. This happens through the configuration management libraries functionalities, the configuration management script library, which is ready to use, and as we saw, the configuration management different tasks options and restore configuration options. And again, a configuration management has a built-in report which is responsible to give you an overview of what has been changed on a configuration level and to get you the details exactly in the command line what are the changes. Thank you for your time, and now we will leave the floor for questions and answers.
Okay, I see coming some questions in the chat, so I'm going to read them and then answer one by one. So is there any limitation in number of previous config backup or network devices? So no, there is no, so really you are setting up the limitation. There is a dialog box when you set up the configuration backup tasks asking you how much archives you want to keep, because really those are stored on a location that you select on the server, or you can pick up a different path, but you may limit this. And in terms of network devices, there is no limit or list of supported devices or anything like that, because all the scripts and tasks are run remotely, meaning that the requirement is SSH or Telnet. It's not a vendor related functionality. Do you have CMMC compliance policy scripts? All the policy scripts that you can that are part of the built-in functionality are there. So if you need a specific script or pattern, you can import it directly. The library is not limited. So it's only for being able to create enough content, so to make your life easier and have as much as possible industry standards as templates, so you can modify or customize those or use them as they are. But if you need a precise policy, you just import directly the policy, or if you don't want to import it, you can use the builder to create the patterns right there. So so I hope that this answers your question, but you can just add it in the library and use it. Can you buy NCM as an individual, configuration management as an individual solution? No, the shortest answer is no, because it's part of the WhatsUp Goat functionalities, really. So it's not an independent solution. All the devices that you may manage through the configuration management, they have to be part of the WhatsUp Goat My Network. So it's really a part of the WhatsUp Goat. Related to this was a question, how do I get configuration management? So the configuration management is part of the licenses. For the subscription licenses, it's part of the Enterprise Plus subscription. On the perpetual licenses is an add-on for the premium ones, and in the Total Plus, it's just included in the license. I see configuration management in my premium edition as well. Is that fully functional? As I heard that it's only available for enterprise. No, if you have premium edition, that means that you have a perpetual license. Premium edition for the premium edition, if you see, you can be licensed premium, and configuration management is add-on to the premium edition. So yes, absolutely, it's fully functional. For the subscription licenses, it's part of the package of the Enterprise Plus licenses. Oh, sorry, Greg, I didn't see that some of the questions are already answered. So going forward, any list of articles to get started with configuration management in your environment. We will follow up on that. Yes, they are in the WhatsUp Goat official documentation. There's a dedicated section for the configuration management, how to do it, how to use it, how to apply the tasks, how to apply the scripting. There's also in the community different script libraries. If you need something specific, you can search through that. But WhatsUp Goat official documentation, it's a dedicated has a dedicated section for the configuration management, and also some video tutorials are available in the YouTube WhatsUp Goat channel, so you can check also there. But just feel free to leave your email and we will send. Any limitation that on previous config backup, rollback option for network devices? So we touched about the limitations on previous configuration. You set up the limit of how much archives you want to keep, and then the rollback is a matter of access, so SSH or Telnet to the device, and you can roll back. Do I use configuration management to modify custom layouts? I really need a few more details to custom layouts. So what custom layouts will mean in that context? What do you use the configuration management for is to modify network device configuration. So meaning whatever configuration you might need, you can create templates that you can directly use. Let's say, for example, you need to substitute a switch. You can have in the library a template configuration, so you don't have to go and do the configuration manually. You just use the template, upload it to the device, and one option. Second option, you want to modify, let's say, for example, an SMTP community string on a device. You can do it, or group of devices, so you can do it through the configuration management. Is there a script available for migrating from local to the cloud Azure? As far as I know, no, and it's really specific from local migrating to cloud Azure. So that's we are talking about network devices here. So cloud has specific access and scripting language, so it's a little bit different. Can we integrate previous configuration rollback option with workflow approval process? That's really, hopefully, will be part of the functionalities that we will release in the future, because it's a request that has come many times, still not as a workflow. So any configuration change before gets applied to be approved from someone, because it's entire workflow. It's typical to different solutions. How we do it these days is within WhatsUp Goat, you can create different levels of accesses and permissions. So only a specific user can do the changes. All the others can modify, can do whatever other works on, can create templates, can save configurations and anything related. But only a specific user can do the configuration changes. So that's how this is done for now. So I think that this is the last question that we have, Greg. At least I don't see more. So if in regards of the documentation, please drop us your email so we can send you what's needed in terms of information about how to use it and what do you need. If anyone also needs that type of information and explanations about how to set it up, how to modify the libraries, or whatever details you might need, just drop us your emails and we will follow up. In any case, after the webinar, there will be a recording shared. So so you can check out also the details that we have shared during this webinar. Thank you very much for your attention and time, and see you on the next one.